Welcome back to the deep dive. Have you ever found yourself scrolling online maybe or just browsing in a health store and you see some product that's just suddenly everywhere?
Oh, definitely. The next big thing.
Exactly. Promises the world, right? Radiant skin, endless energy. And you're left thinking, okay, is this actually real or is it just, really good marketing?
The hype machine.
Totally. So today we're trying to cut through some of that noise. We're looking at one of these trending marvels, sea moss. You might also know it as Chondrus crispus or Irish moss.
Mm-hmm. Got a few names.
Yeah. And our mission for this deep dive, pretty straightforward. We've got this stack of sources, articles, bits of research, guides from wellness sites, health publications, the lot.
Good stuff.
And we're going to pull out the most important nuggets about sea moss, give you the shortcut to being properly informed, hopefully find some surprising facts, maybe have a chuckle. These sources are basically our map for understanding this.
Well, it's really intriguing algae. Okay, let's unpack this. Yeah, let's do that. What's fascinating here is seeing something that's been used traditionally for, centuries suddenly explode in popularity now.
Right. It's like, where did it come from all of a sudden?
Exactly. And often that explosion comes with a whole blizzard of claims, some bolder than others. Sea moss is a perfect example. It's natural. It definitely has potential, no doubt about it.
What?
But like anything potent from nature, you really need a balanced view. You need to understand it properly. So our goal is to look at both sides, the impressive potential benefits, yeah, but also, and this is crucial, the important things you absolutely need to know before you even think about trying it.
Okay, good. So let's start right at square one. When I first heard sea moss, honestly, I pictured something sort of slimy, green, clinging to a rock somewhere.
Yeah, that's a common picture.
But what is it exactly? Is it just a general name for seaweed?
That's a great question, and it hits on a common point of confusion. It is a type of seaweed, or marine algae, yes, but it's not just any seaweed. It's specifically a type of red algae.
Red algae, okay.
Yeah, the scientific name is Chondrus crispus, and that nickname, Irish moss, that points to its history. It was, and still is, abundant off the coast of Ireland. It was actually a really important food source there, especially during the Great Famine. People relied on it.
Wow. Okay. So it has a real history, a specific identity, not just some random ocean plant.
Not at all. It's very distinct.
So if it's big in Ireland, where else does it actually grow? Like, what's its natural postcode? Is it like cold water, warm water?
Good question. You find Chondrus crispus mainly along the rocky coasts of the Atlantic.
Okay, the Atlantic.
Yeah. Think places like the colder waters off North America, New England, Canada, then across the pond to Europe, Ireland, obviously Scotland, even parts of Scandinavia.
Right.
But it also grows down in the warmer waters of the Caribbean. It likes to attach itself to rocks, kind of in that zone just below the low tide line. And it essentially just soaks up minerals from the ocean water.
Like a sponge.
Pretty much, yeah. A very sophisticated sponge, pulling in this wide array of nutrients. It's kind of amazing, really, how something growing in these, often pretty harsh coastal spots has become this global wellness thing.
It really is a journey. From famine food to, celebrity smoothie ingredient.
Quite the leap.
And our sources keep mentioning this nickname it's earned.
Ah, yes. Nature's multi-mineral.
That's the one. Is that just marketing spin, or is there substance to it?
No, I'd say it's pretty accurate, actually. It's not just a catchy phrase.
Right.
It directly reflects what's inside it. It is naturally packed with an incredible range of essential vitamins, a really diverse spread of minerals and other, bioactive compounds that are good for you.
And you mentioned its history earlier. This wasn't just discovered last year in a lab somewhere, right?
Oh, absolutely not. We're talking centuries of use.
Yeah.
In coastal communities, especially when food was scarce, like we mentioned with the Irish famine, sea moss wasn't just a supplement. It was vital food. People knew it was nutritious. They knew it helped them survive.
So they recognized its value long before we called things superfoods.
Exactly. They knew it had properties, perhaps medicinal ones, just from observation and tradition. That long history really sets the stage for understanding its nutritional profile. That profile is the foundation for all the health benefits people talk about today. It's like nature's pantry, really.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. So if it's nature's multi-mineral, the big question is, what's actually in it? What are the specific building blocks making everyone so excited? Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Absolutely, because the nutritional profile is really what makes sea moss stand out. It's not just one or two things. It's the whole package. You've got essential vitamins, a huge range of minerals, and other beneficial compounds that all seem to work together.
Synergistically.
That's the word, yeah. They enhance each other's effects. So let's break it down. Starting with vitamins. The sources point to sea moss being a decent source of several important ones.
Like what?
Okay, so you've got vitamin B2, which is also called riboflavin. Super important for energy, helps your body turn food into fuel efficiently.
Right, keeps the engine running.
Pretty much. Then there's vitamin C. Everyone knows vitamin C, right? Great for the immune system, powerful antioxidant fighting off cell damage. It also contains vitamin A, which is vital for good vision, immune function too, and helps keep your skin healthy. And we can't forget vitamin K.
What does K do again?
Vitamin K is key for blood clotting, making sure you stop bleeding when you get a cut, and it's also really important for building strong bones. So just on the vitamin front, it's already offering a solid baseline.
That's a good start, definitely. But the multi-mineral part is what really grabs me. We hear so much about minerals being lacking in modern diets. What's the mineral story here?
This is where sea moss really lives up to the name. It's exceptionally rich in iodine. Now, iodine is absolutely critical for your thyroid gland to work properly.
The thyroid, right, in your neck, controls metabolism.
Exactly. It's the master regulator for metabolism, energy, hormone production. And it needs iodine to make its hormones. We'll come back to iodine, though, because there's a really important safety point there.
Okay, noted. What else?
Well, loads, actually. It's got calcium, which everyone knows is crucial for strong bones and teeth. It provides a good amount of magnesium. Magnesium is kind of an unsung hero. It's involved in hundreds of processes in the body.
Like what kind of things?
Oh, everything from muscle and nerve function to keeping your blood sugar stable, regulating blood pressure. It's fundamental.
Wow, okay.
Then you've got potassium, which is important for fluid balance, heart rhythm, blood pressure again. Zinc is in there, vital for a strong immune system and helping wounds heal. And iron, of course, which carries oxygen around your body, helps fight fatigue, keeps your energy up.
Though it really is like a mineral supplement from the sea, covering a lot of bases.
It really is. It provides many of those trace minerals that can be hard to get enough of from, typical Western diets or foods grown in depleted soils. It's this whole symphony of essential elements.
That is an incredible list. But it's not just vitamins and minerals, is it? The sources mention other stuff too.
You're spot on. The benefits go beyond just those micronutrients. Sea moss also contains a good amount of fiber.
Good for digestion.
Exactly. Helps with regularity, makes you feel full. And then there are omega-3 fatty acids. People usually think of fish for omega-3s, but sea moss has them too. Great for heart health, brain function.
Great. Heart and brain.
Yep. Plus, it's loaded with various antioxidants. These are the compounds that fight off cellular damage from things called free radicals. Think of them as your body's internal cleanup crew, protecting against stress.
Okay.
And finally, it provides amino acids. These are the basic building blocks that make up proteins. You need them for muscle repair, making enzymes, all sorts of essential jobs.
So vitamins, minerals, fiber, omega-3s, antioxidants, amino acids. It's covering a lot.
It really is. And what's also quite significant is that it's a vegan source of all this.
Yeah.
And naturally gluten-free. So it fits into many different dietary approaches.
That makes it very accessible.
It does. And it's this whole complex nutritional package that leads directly to that wide range of potential health benefits people talk about, which I suppose is where things get really interesting for most people.
Okay, yeah, let's go there. Now we know what's in it, this nature's multi-mineral. Let's unpack what it might actually do. The sources we looked at highlighted, 8 key areas?
Well, around that, yeah. 8 main potential benefits that kept coming up.
Right, so let's tackle them one by one. Let's explore the claims, the science, the traditional knowledge behind them. This is where we connect the dots, right? From the nutrients to the potential impact on your health.
Exactly. And, it's always smart to keep a level head. Some of these benefits have more solid scientific backing, maybe human trials than others. Some rely more on preliminary research or that long history of traditional use.
So promising, but maybe not all proven beyond a shadow of doubt yet.
Precisely. But the overall picture, from both the research and the tradition, is definitely compelling. So we'll explore the why for each one. How does that unique mix of nutrients in sea moss potentially deliver these benefits?
Okay, where do we start? What's benefit number 1?
Let's start with immune system support. This comes up again and again. Our sources consistently point out it's high in that vitamin C we mentioned, plus zinc and those antioxidants.
All known immune boosters.
Exactly. These aren't controversial stuff. Vitamins C and zinc are absolutely vital for your immune cells to function properly, to multiply when needed. They basically help your body's defense system work better at recognizing and fighting off infections.
So it's like giving your immune system the tools it needs to do its job, sharpening the defenses.
That's a great way to put it. And it might go beyond just supplying the tools. Some compounds in sea moss seem to have direct antiviral and antimicrobial properties in lab studies, meaning they might actively interfere with the growth or spread of certain viruses and bacteria. So there's this potential idea that it could directly reduce your risk of getting sick.
Interesting.
And there's also some suggestion, maybe more from traditional use and early research, that the nutrients might help you recover faster if you do get sick. So imagine, consistently supporting your body's natural defenses with something completely natural. It's about building resilience.
That sounds incredibly useful, especially these days. Okay, so that's the immune system. What about gut health? That's such a huge topic now.
Huge, yeah. And promoting digestive and gut health is definitely another major area for sea moss. It's often described as a natural prebiotic.
Okay, prebiotic, not probiotic. What's the difference again?
Right. Important distinction. Probiotics are the good bacteria. Prebiotics are the food for those good bacteria that are already living in your gut.
Okay, so sea moss feeds the good guys.
Exactly. By feeding them, it helps them flourish, helps create a more balanced, diverse gut microbiome. And we now know a healthy gut microbiome is linked to, well, pretty much overall health.
Right. Everything seems connected to the gut.
It really does. On top of that, there's the high fiber content, and also this stuff called mucilage. It's what makes sea moss jelly when you prepare it.
A gel texture.
Yeah, that fiber and mucilage together seem to soothe the lining of your digestive tract. They can improve digestion overall, make nutrient absorption better, and they're really good for helping prevent constipation. It's like a gentle sweep and a soothing balm for your insides.
A sweep and a balm.
Oh, wait.
I like that. So it cleans things out, but also protects the lining.
That's the idea. And there's one specific compound in sea moss carrageenan. You might have seen it on food labels as a thickener.
Yeah, I have. Isn't that controversial sometimes?
It can be, particularly certain forms used in processed foods. But the type naturally occurring in whole sea moss is being looked at for potentially reducing gut inflammation.
Oh, really? So the opposite effect.
Potentially, yes, in its natural context within the sea moss. This could make it helpful for people with digestive discomfort or maybe even inflammatory gut issues. So it's nurturing the good bacteria and potentially soothing inflammation. It's quite comprehensive for the gut.
Fascinating. Especially the carrageenan point. Okay, let's switch gears. You mentioned the thyroid earlier and the iodine. This sounds like a really critical one.
It absolutely is both a major potential benefit and a major area for caution. Supporting thyroid function is probably one of the most well-known traditional uses, and it's all down to that high iodine content.
Because the thyroid needs iodine.
Desperately needs it. It cannot make its hormones T3 and T4 without iodine. And these hormones, as we said, control your metabolism, energy, body temperature, heart rate, just about everything.
So if you don't get enough iodine,
your thyroid can become underactive. That's hypothyroidism. Leads to fatigue, weight gain, feeling cold, brain fog, all sorts of issues. So for someone who is genuinely deficient in iodine, sea moss could, in theory, help provide that missing piece and support normal thyroid function.
okay, that makes sense. But you mentioned caution.
Yes, and this is where it gets really, really important. While some iodine is essential, too much iodine can be just as bad, if not worse.
How so?
Excessive iodine can actually disrupt thyroid function too. It can trigger hyperthyroidism, an overactive thyroid, causing anxiety, rapid heartbeat, weight loss, tremors, or it can worsen existing thyroid conditions, like Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It can throw the whole system out of whack.
Wow. So it's a very fine line. More is definitely not better here.
Absolutely not. Think of it like a medication. The right dose helps. The wrong dose harms. This is precisely why, and I can't stress this enough, you must talk to your doctor before using sea moss, especially if you have any thyroid condition at all, hypo or hyper, or if you take thyroid medication.
Non-negotiable, basically.
Completely non-negotiable. They need to check your iodine status, monitor your thyroid levels, and advise if it's safe for you and what dose. Trying to self-treat a thyroid issue with sea moss without medical supervision is really risky. It highlights the power, but also the potential danger of potent natural substances.
Okay. Message received loud and clear on the thyroid. That's super important. Let's move to something a bit lighter, maybe. Skin health. That always gets people interested. How can eating sea moss help your skin?
Yeah, It's definitely a popular angle.
Yeah.
And enhancing skin health makes sense when you look at what's in sea moss and also its traditional topical uses.
Yeah,
People used to put it on their skin directly for hydration, soothing inflammation.
like a face mask.
Kinda, yeah.
Right.
But the idea now is that consuming it helps from the inside out. You got nutrients like sulfur. Sulfur is actually used in some acne treatments because it has antibacterial properties.
Right.
It's got vitamin A, essential for skin cell turnover and repair. Magnesium helps with cellular processes. Those omega-3s we mentioned help fight inflammation, which is often behind things like redness or breakouts.
So it's providing the building blocks and calming things down internally.
That's the theory. These nutrients, delivered through your diet, might help manage acne, reduce redness and irritation, improve skin elasticity, making it more supple, and boost hydration. So you could potentially see a healthier, more radiant complexion. It's not just surface level, it's feeding the skin from within.
Nourishing the foundation. I like that. Okay, what about weight management? Another huge area of interest. Any potential role for sea moss there?
There is, yeah. Sea moss is often mentioned for aiding in weight management, and this seems to work in a couple of ways. First, it's very low in calories and fat, obviously helpful. But more importantly, it's high in that fiber we discussed.
The stuff that makes you feel full.
Exactly. Fiber absorbs water and expands in your stomach. This creates a feeling of fullness or satiety that can last a while. So if you feel fuller for longer, you're less likely to overeat at your next meal or snack unnecessarily.
Makes sense. Natural appetite control.
Pretty much. And then there's a second potential angle. Some early research hints that sea moss might give your metabolism a gentle nudge. There's some suggestion certain compounds might encourage thermogenesis. That's basically your body producing a bit more heat, which means it burns slightly more calories, even when you're resting.
Interesting. So feeling fuller and maybe burning a few extra calories.
That's the potential combination. So for someone looking for natural support on their weight journey, whether losing or maintaining it, offers this kind of two-pronged approach. It's not a magic bullet, obviously, but it could be a helpful addition to a healthy diet and lifestyle.
Okay, that's compelling. It seems to link back to digestion and metabolism. What about the heart or ticker? Does sea moss do anything for cardiovascular health?
Yes, supporting heart health is another key area highlighted. This seems to come from that combination of minerals, omega-3s, and antioxidants.
How do they help the heart specifically?
Well, it contains potassium, which is really important for helping to manage blood pressure, partly by balancing out sodium levels. Then you have the omega-3 fatty acids. Loads of research shows they're great for heart health. They can help manage cholesterol levels, particularly triglycerides.
Right, the fats in the blood.
Exactly. And the antioxidants help protect the blood vessels and the heart muscle itself from damage caused by oxidative stress. Plus, those general anti-inflammatory properties we keep mentioning. They're important here too.
Because inflammation is bad for the heart.
Increasingly, science sees chronic inflammation as a major driver of heart disease. So anything that helps reduce inflammation systemically is likely good for your cardiovascular system. Think of it as giving your whole circulatory system a bit of a natural tune-up, helping manage blood pressure, cholesterol, inflammation, supporting long-term heart health.
A tune-up for the circulatory system. I like that visual. Okay, next up, energy levels and muscle recovery. This sounds relevant to, well, pretty much everyone, from athletes to just busy people feeling tired.
Absolutely. This is a big one. Boosting energy and muscle recovery. Sea moss is packed with nutrients involved in energy production. Iron, for instance. Iron is essential to carry oxygen in your blood to all your cells. No oxygen, no energy.
Right. Low iron often means fatigue.
Definitely. It also has B vitamins, like that B2 we mentioned earlier. B vitamins are like spark plugs in the energy production process. They help convert food into usable cellular energy. And the amino acids are building blocks, also involved in energy pathways. So this combination can directly help fight fatigue and just support overall vitality.
Okay, so that's the energy part. What about muscle recovery?
This is particularly interesting. Sea moss contains an amino acid called taurine. Taurine might not be as famous as some others, but research is showing it plays a really important role in muscle function.
How so?
It seems to help with muscle contraction, protects muscle cells from damage during exercise, and might even aid in muscle growth and strength. It also seems to help reduce oxidative stress after workouts, which can speed up recovery.
So good for athletes or even just people who get sore after a workout.
Exactly. Whether you're pushing hard in the gym and want faster recovery, or you're just feeling generally sluggish and want more natural energy without reaching for caffeine, sea moss seems to offer potential benefits on both fronts. It directly addresses that feeling of fatigue and aids physical repair.
That's really compelling, especially the taurine aspect. Okay, one last area from our list. Bones and joints. Keeping our structure strong and mobile.
Yes, fundamental stuff. Encouraging joint and bone health. We already mentioned it has calcium and magnesium, the absolute cornerstones of strong bones. Can't build or maintain bone density without them.
Right, the classics.
But sea moss also contains sulfur compounds. Sulfur is important for connective tissues. Think cartilage in your joints, tendons, ligaments. It helps keep them healthy, flexible.
So it helps with joint mobility, not just bone strength.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
And again, here come those anti-inflammatory effects. By helping to reduce inflammation, sea moss might ease the discomfort, swelling, or stiffness that comes with conditions like arthritis, or even just general aches and pains from activity.
So it's nourishing the bones, supporting the joint tissues, and reducing inflammation.
That's the holistic picture, yeah. Supporting the structure, the cushioning, and the comfort, helping you stay mobile and active.
Wow. Okay. So what does this all mean for you listening right now? I mean, it sounds like sea moss is this incredible all-rounder. It's got potential links to immunity, digestion, skin, thyroid, heart, energy, muscles, bones, joints. It's touching almost everything. It really lives up to that nature's multi-mineral nickname. Quite the resume.
It really is quite the resume. And naturally, when you hear about all these potential benefits, the next logical thought is, okay, how do I actually use this stuff? What form does it come in? How do people get it into their routine?
Exactly. You're probably not just going to, go rock pooling and chew on it straight from the Atlantic, right? How do people actually consume it, practically?
Probably not, no. Although, technically, the raw form can be eaten after thorough cleaning. But, yeah, for most people, that's not very practical day to day. Luckily, it's available in much more convenient forms now.
Okay, like what?
The most popular form, and probably the most versatile, is sea moss gel. You make this by taking the raw sea moss, cleaning it really well, soaking it, and then blending it with water until it forms this smooth, sort of translucent gel.
Right. I've seen jars of that stuff. What do you do with it?
The great thing about the gel is it's pretty much tasteless, and you can add it to almost anything. Stir it into smoothies, it makes them thicker and boosts nutrition without changing the flavor. You can put it in teas, soups, stews, sauces. Some people even use it as a vegan substitute for gelatin or as a thickener in recipes.
So it just blends right in. You wouldn't really notice it.
Largely no, which makes it really easy to take consistently. That neutral taste is a big plus. Then, besides the gel, you can also get sea moss powder.
Just dried and ground up.
Exactly. You can mix the powder into drinks, shakes, sprinkle it on food, or use it in recipes like other superfood powders, and it's often more concentrated than the gel, so you might need less.
Okay. Gel or powder. Any other options?
Yep. For maximum convenience, you've also got capsules and gummies. These are super easy. Just pop one like any other supplement. Perfect if you're busy, traveling, or just want a precise dose without any mixing or blending.
Capsules and gummies. Got it.
So between the gel, the powder, and the capsules or gummies, there's usually a way for most people to fit it into their routine pretty easily, whatever their preference or lifestyle.
That flexibility definitely makes it appealing. Okay, now, let's shift to probably the most critical part of this whole conversation, the buyer beware section, if you will.
Very important.
Because it sounds amazing, all these benefits, but with great potential comes great responsibility, right? We absolutely need to talk about the considerations, the potential downsides, the safety stuff. What are the non-negotiables people need to know before they jump on the sea moss bandwagon?
Yes. This is absolutely vital. Number one, without a doubt, we have to circle back to the iodine content. We talked about how essential iodine is for the thyroid.
Yeah.
But, and this is the crucial, but the dose makes the poison.
Too much is bad. We established that.
Exactly. Too much iodine can seriously disrupt your thyroid, causing hyperthyroidism or worsening existing conditions. It's a delicate balance. This isn't just a minor side effect. It can be a significant health problem.
So who needs to be most careful?
Honestly, anyone considering taking it regularly should be mindful, but it's especially critical if you have any history of thyroid problems, hypo or hyper, Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, nodules, anything or R, if you are currently taking thyroid medication.
So the rule is?
The absolute unbreakable rule is talk to your doctor first before you start taking sea moss. Get their advice. They might want to check your iodine levels or monitor your thyroid function. Do not self-prescribe, especially with thyroid health. It's just not worth the risk. Think of it like a powerful drug needs respect and professional guidance.
Okay. Doctor first, especially for thyroid issues. Crystal clear. What else?
Second, think about allergies. If you know you're allergic to other types of seaweed, or particularly if you have shellfish allergies, you need to be cautious.
Wait, shellfish. It's a plant.
True. but they grow in the same marine environment, and there can sometimes be cross-reactivity. Your immune system might mistakenly react to similar proteins, so if you have those allergies, definitely approach with caution. Maybe start with a tiny amount, or better yet, talk to an allergist.
Good point. Allergies. What's number 3?
Number 3 is hugely important, quality and contaminants. Where does the sea moss come from? How is it harvested and processed?
Why does that matter so much?
Because the ocean, unfortunately, isn't always pristine. Seaweed can absorb things from the water it grows in. If it's harvested from polluted areas, it could potentially contain heavy metals, things like lead, mercury, arsenic, cadmium.
Yikes. I definitely don't want those.
Absolutely not. It could also contain other pollutants or toxins. This is why you can't just buy any sea moss product off the shelves. You need to choose reputable brands.
How do you know if a brand is reputable?
Look for transparency. Do they tell you where their sea moss is sourced from? Even better, do they provide proof of third-party testing? That means an independent lab has tested the product for heavy metals, pesticides, microbes, and other contaminants to make sure it's clean and safe.
So do your homework on the brand. Look for testing.
Definitely. Don't skimp on quality control here. It's about ensuring you're getting the benefits without accidentally consuming harmful substances. Be vigilant about sourcing.
Okay. Iodine, allergies, quality. Anything else?
Just the general disclaimer that applies to any supplement. Our sources all reinforce this. Always talk to your healthcare provider before starting anything new, especially if you have underlying health conditions, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, or if you're taking other medications. There could be interactions. It's just the cornerstone of being safe and responsible with your health.
Right. Sensible advice for anything, really.
Exactly. Understanding these points, the iodine, the allergies, the quality, the need for medical advice, means you can approach sea moss with excitement, sure, but also with informed confidence and safety first.
That's a really crucial perspective. Being informed isn't just knowing the good stuff, it's knowing the risks and how to navigate them. Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does this whole deep dive mean for you, our listener? We've journeyed from sea moss being this humble red algae on Atlantic rocks to this potential powerhouse, nature's multi-mineral. We've explored its links to immunity, gut health, skin, thyroid balance, heart support, energy, recovery. The list is long. We found some surprising connections, right? Like carrageenan maybe soothing the gut, or taurine helping muscles recover. And it seems clear that, yeah, maybe we need more large-scale human studies to confirm everything. But that rich nutrient profile combined with centuries of traditional use, it makes sea moss look like a genuinely promising, complex, and intriguing addition to a healthy lifestyle for many people.
It certainly does. And this is where all this information becomes truly powerful when you understand it and can apply it wisely. I really have to stress again, one last time, how important those safety considerations are, especially talking to your doctor. That's key to using its potential safely.
Right. Knowledge applied wisely.
Exactly. And this whole exploration of sea moss, it's not just about this one specific superfood. It's a great reminder, I think, of the incredible power that can be found in natural sources, but it also highlights how important it is to think critically, to be discerning in this age where we're just flooded with health information and trends.
True. Need to sift through the noise.
We do.
Yeah.
And as we're all looking for ways to feel better, to live healthier lives, this deep dive into sea moss. Well, this raises an important question, doesn't it? Given its long traditional history and its huge modern comeback, what other ancient remedies or traditional food sources might be out there, maybe overlooked, that deserve their own deep dive?